All right, it's time to do block 9 for our Joyful Gatherings Quilt-Along, where we are making 25 Christmas trees before Christmas of 2023. But it's super easy, and we can do a block or 2 each week. And this week you are getting 2. You are getting 8 and 9. So if you've missed any of our blocks, or maybe you're stumbling upon us for the first time, you'll want to go to our playlist for all Joyful Gatherings. Watch all the videos. Watch the first one. That's where the pattern is for the tree pieces and parts. And each week I will do a video on the block inside of each tree. All right, so like I promised, I wanted these videos to be a little bit shorter today. So I have pre-done some of the stitching that we need for block number 9. Can we put block number 9 up here now, Kaylee? Yeah. Time out, we need to just switch the props. All right, now on this one, I'm just going to give you a little bit of advice. So there are 2 different triangles. This like here is supposed to make like an elongated, and then this one here. So these are 2 different fabrics. You might want to pick some that are a little bit more contrast than I did, but hey, it all works for me. And just a little tip that if you want them to be more pronounced, that maybe you pick definite different fabrics. All right, so I need to make 4 flying geese with 2 different reds on each side. So I've already made 3 of these. I'm going to show you the last one. And then I'm also going to show you this half square triangle, which is pieced. It has 2 different fabrics here. So I can't wait to show you how I came up with that. So I don't have my pattern with me, so I'm assuming that goes that way. All right. Okay, so here's the flying geese unit right here. I made sure that each print is on the right side, so I'm going to pick that up, place those nicely together. And sometimes it's really good idea to flip it to the other side to make sure you don't see any overhang. So you'll see me do that once in a while, because a lot of times if your units aren't coming out right, you didn't line it up good. All right, they go really fast when you're only making 1. So I'm just going to finger press that, put the next one on, line that one up. Check the back side, looks good. Scooch it over a little bit. There we go. Oh, and I unthreaded my machine, of course. I pulled that last one out way too fast. See, when we do this, when this happens, when we're shooting a video, we can cut this out. All right, no harm, no foul. All right, let's go. All right, there we go. Now I can hit this with the steam. All right, so here I would have 4 of these that look just like this. I'm going to trim off the dog ears on the sides. And then if you want, you can actually like lay your ruler on here and trim these off. So this looks like 1 1/4. And there they go. So this one's going to go there. All right, now I need to make this other unit here. All right, so watch this. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to piece this triangle onto this rectangle. So right sides together like that. I'm just going to push that triangle up. I don't probably need to press that because I have enough starch in it that it's going to hold that. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shape and I'm going to put it right here and line those up. You could trim that off just using that straight line of that triangle, but I'm kind of lazy. I'm just going to do it all at once at the end. So I'm just going to run that through my machine. Just take my scissors, give it a quick little. So there I have that pieced half square triangle. Open that up quick. I'm going to press, trim off my quilt seeds. And then I'm going to place it in there. So when you get it this far, this is where you check to make sure that that's the same fabric, that's the same fabric. All right. Okay, so now I can start in the middle, piece those together, then piece these together, and then that be one row. So that's how I'm going to tackle that. I don't know what the directions say because I don't have them with me. I don't know where block 9 went. So how do you get blocks 8 and 9 today? You are going to go to lisabongean.com. You're going to go to Quilt-Alongs, and you're going to print out the patterns. Or you can go to the video description. Yes, or go to the video description and then click on the link and it'll be there as well. Lots of ways for you to find us. All right, I'm pressing these two open.
Hey Lisa, your steam generator.
Is that a trick question? Not as long as they should. No. The thing is irons aren't meant to stay on for 12 hours a day. And let's just face it, mine's staying on 12 hours a day. So with that in mind, you really have to take that into effect of how long they're going to last. So one of the things that happens with the steam generators is sometimes it leaves a nasty like mark on your fabric with like rusty water, you know, because we don't empty them all the time. So that's one of the downfalls of the steam station. As they age, they get, you know, built up sediment in there, and sometimes we call it like craps on your fabric. Really, that's what we call it. So sometimes that kind of bugs you after a while, and if it keeps doing that and keeps doing that, it's time for a new iron, right? So we are testing a new iron here at Primitive Gathering, and it is the Laura Star, and it's a beautiful iron. And one of these days I'll bring it on and show you how it works. But it is a high-end iron. It's very expensive, but hey, if it doesn't crap on my fabric after a while, I'll probably like that, right? So that's the only downfall of the steam generator. It's kind of like, how long does your car last? I don't know. How much do you drive it? Yeah, how do you drive it? All right, just a quick little open here of this last seam.
Sherry Fallon says it only seems to crap on my fabric.
On the white ones, yes, exactly. Or when you're done with your block and you're just giving it one final press, like I was doing the other day with my Moda Blockhead one, and it totally like crapped all over. I had to wash my block totally, and I had to scrub to get all that sediment out. All right, so here's my center. I wish I could have, like I said, maybe made those a little bit more pronounced, but hey, it is what it is. So now I'm going to piece these side ones together. But that's a great question. You know, no matter what, at the end of the day, they don't make things like they used to. Nothing lasts like it should anymore. So that's really frustrating when we pay hundreds of dollars for an iron and it doesn't really, you know, last forever. But when we're using it 12 hours a day, pretty much every day, what do we expect, right? So
I'll never forget when that iron crapping happened to me for the first time ever when I was here. I thought I was like gonna get fired. I thought I was just didn't know what to do. Ran and got Amy. It was
yeah, it's scary because, you know, all of a sudden it's got all these brown streaks on your fabric. All right, I got the two sides done, and let's just make this easy and just press them away from the flying geese unit. So I'm going to press toward that last triangles. So those are ready to go on. I might as well just put them on right away. I'm going to pin when it's all these little units. Line up that center seam.
You use distilled water in your steam station?
I read to what what it says. And I have well water at home, so it tells me to use half and half distilled and half of my water, because my water's filtered too. So I don't know. No matter what I use, though, it does it. We use all distilled water at the gathering in our irons, and it still does it. So
What is the best way to take out scorch spots?
I use hydrogen peroxide a lot to take things out of my blocks. I usually don't scorch. I always keep my iron moving, and I use lots of steam. So if you're using lots of steams, you shouldn't be scorching anything. So if you're using a dry iron and get scorch marks, ooh, yeah. I always say steam is your best friend. All right, so I got the sides on. Looks pretty good. We're going to press that seam maybe in. We could press that one open, though, easily. There we go. Now the last two. Did that speed it any up by me pre-doing some of them, Kaylee, or is it still long?
Oh, it did. speed up.
It did?
We're a little over half an hour for 2 blocks.
Okay, not too bad.
I have a question for you.
Yep.
Get closer. She says she's a little confused with the 2 different fabrics. When you use the triangle paper, do you make one of each fabric?
Okay, the 2 different, I don't know what she's asking me.
I think, were you talking about 2 different reds or?
You're not using triangle paper for that? Remember, I just cut those triangles?
It was strips. Right?
Yeah.
You did?
It was a cut triangle to a rectangle. Is that what they're talking about? This one here?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't think they realize, because it's hard to see, that there are 2 different. Remember, you said you pieced that one half.
Right. Right. But I showed that, so maybe they don't see it close enough yet.
Yeah, it's hard to differentiate the 2 fabrics on here yet.
Okay. So if you want to take that block and go up close to the camera and show them that there's 2 fabrics there.
And they said they really appreciate you taking the time to be successful.
Yeah, I want them to love this as much as I do. That's like a known fact.
So right here and here.
Yeah, and that's where I want you to make those 2 fabrics a little bit more distinguishable than what I did.
Yeah, the camera is just
It's like
become-
super blown out
yeah,
too. Yeah, it's hard.
it all looks the same.
Yeah, when you print it out on your pattern, you will see what we're talking about. Uh-oh. What did I do? Okay.
Not right now. 2 hours probably.
It was doing that.
Still don't see the different fabrics. Yeah.
I mean, I'm staring right at it.
I know, that's what I'm
It's-
saying. Yeah, just trust us. There's 2 fabrics making that triangle.
Oh, we lost our overhead. That's what we need the new camera for.
Yeah. We do.
Well, we're almost done. Uh-oh, you think I can make that work? I can make that work. I can fudge that. So see how my square's just a little off? Oh, we lost the overhead. So see, it's a little off. I'm gonna fudge that, all right? I'm gonna make that work. It can.
$1 to anyone who can find it in the final quote.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna put the top and the bottom on. Flip, flip. I cut myself right there the other day on when I was cooking in the kitchen and the gathering on the hot plate, you know, that stainless steel. I
Just the edges.
You
and then
rubbed up
now when I'm
against it.
trying to stitch, it's like right in that spot,
Of
like
course it is.
right in that sweet spot. I only pinned in 3 spots. I hope I probably pinned in a couple more. Looks good. Yep, it's hard to see those 2 reds.
Now, if it would have been one of these.
Right, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Switch it up so you can see them really good because they looked different enough when I picked them out, but because they're so little when I stitched them, it was hard to tell them apart when they're so tiny in the shape.
You want to talk about what model of Juki you are using?
I am using the 2020 PE Juki. It was a platinum edition, 2020 it came out, and it was supposedly only 2,000 of them made. It's beautiful machine, but you can't get one anymore. All right, so let's check that one out. That matches pretty good. Okay, let's press that last seam open. All right, so now we just have to trim this one up, get my little ruler out. So there's lots of little just wonky seams there, so I like to just put that on there and trim up those little edges. So see the difference that makes? Cleans up all the strings. I don't think I did that on the last one, but it looked a lot better than this one does. All right. Wow, it's a little messy on the back. There we go. Block 9 is in the books. And join us next week for Block 10.